Hi, I am Saravanan. Today we look into this very common question as to why is mental illness increasing among people? Why are psychological problems increasing? Though many of us think that stress levels have increased, work at office or work pressure has increased, or the demands from the family, the economic demands, the financial demands have increased. If you ask me, one thing has increased along with all this, and that is increase in involvement in activities which we call entertainment. Television viewing, excessive social media involvement is affecting the brain and the mind to an extent which we do not even imagine. I will tell you why. Just click a sound. For example, I just do this. Now, you may think that the sound has vanished, but it is not true. The ear has a certain frequency. For example, assume that the ear is able to listen or absorb sound from a frequency of 10 to 20. After I have stopped this, in the sense I just do this, it stops after a few seconds, you're not able to listen, but the frequency of sound below 10, which the ear is not able to perceive, still is impacting the mind, is impacting the ear. Imagine you watch television or series before you go to sleep, and you have watched it for more than, I would say, 1 hour, half an hour, or even 2 hours. All the sound imprints are still carried in the mind, the auditory impressions. Not only that, when you go and close your eyes after watching a movie, you will see the image of the movie in your mind, isn't it? Which means the mind holds the image in multiple frequencies which you can't perceive with a normal eye. The mind holds the sound in multiple frequencies. Those frequencies our physical ear may not be able to sense, but the mind is continually active even when you close your eyes and sleep, which basically means that we just don't give rest to our mind. We do not give rest to the sensory organs. Today, if you take schizophrenia, they say it is increasing by more than 20% every year. And what is schizophrenia? You hear sounds, you see images, and you think they are real. The more you use a particular sensory organ, the more trained it becomes to hear voices or see visuals, which is beyond its normal capacity. That's all it is. How does a badminton player become a good badminton player or the best badminton player? They use the muscles of the arms, they use the muscles of the legs, they coordinate, they keep on practicing certain shots, they become experts in it. Similarly, when the ear is continuously exposed to sound, and the eye is continuously exposed to images, maybe you are opening. I'm saying maybe because there is no proof, but the fact is our mind can perceive images in all frequencies, number one, but the fact is the eye can see only certain colors. When you overuse the eye, in the sense when you're getting in more and more information, all that information goes and sits in the mind and they start becoming real. Similarly, when you overuse the ear, you start hearing voices. Now, how does this voice hearing happen? All of us have thoughts, isn't it? Thoughts keep running continuously. The problem is, when certain emotions are kicked up, only certain thoughts keep repeating, certain voices get repeating. If I'm angry at a person, for one full day, I'll get only his voice. And when that becomes more intense, when I get identified with certain emotions, then these voices become real. And what starts as negative thinking or OCD or any other disorder slowly moves into a deep psychological problem like schizophrenia. And for none of this do we have any allopathic or even direct Ayurvedic medications. Yes, there is no cure for any of these diseases. It's clearly documented. And it's very important for us to understand that the root cause of psychological problems is continuously keeping the mind active, and you're not conscious about it. The mind is active and you don't give any rest to the mind. Number one. Number two, if you are experiencing stress, anxiety due to any reason, please understand that's happening because of a disturbed mind. It is not because your neighbor is angry at you, or your friend is doing something against you, or your spouse is not listening to you. It's basically because the mind is continuously agitated and I am looking at only those things or those actions of people which are affecting me and which will continuously keep my mind agitated. The goal is to see if I can stabilize my mind. You start with that. And when it comes to deeper psychological problems or psychiatric problems, even if you take medications, it is very important that you enter into certain practices which will help you to stabilize the mind and release off those latent depressions and reduce those habits which we call as mind relaxing habits. They are not actually relaxing the mind, they are disturbing you to the core. Thank you.